I should share it with Andy. Can I share the game ball with Andy's wife? So we gave Andy Levitre's wife a game ball, and we put ultimate toughness on it. And she doesn't know that yet, so if she's watching, Andy would bring that today.
I was totally in shock when I found out I was getting the game ball. I had no idea.
I don't think that's something that most coaches would normally do, and to recognize her for that, I think she's very much deserving of it.
I don't think they wanted me to pull the starting left guard out during the first playoff game, so that was probably a part of it.
Andy Levitre is one of our toughest players, but he's not the toughest person in his family.
To be tougher than Falcons guard Andy Levitre is no easy feat. The 9-year vet began his career with 143 straight starts for 3 different teams.
Levitre gets a huge block to lead the way.
He spent the last 3 seasons as a key piece of the explosive Falcons offense.
Excellent block by Levitre.
Job, Andy.
In 2016, Levitre helped power the Falcons to the top of the NFC.
Ryan hands to Freeman, touchdown Atlanta.
Levitre, he's the guy that got the initial block.
In week 15, with Katie at the hospital thinking she might be in labor, the soon-to-be father was guilty of a premature celebration.
Let's go. Oh, you see that? There you go. Oh, the baby. Let's go.
And I thought it was cute, but I also told him, don't say anything to anyone about this because I don't know if I'm actually in labor. But he was so excited that I knew that he was gonna want to say something.
Oh, the baby.
And then I got home to pictures of Andy rocking a ball on the field.
Congratulations. You appreciate giving me the ball. Thank you, man. No problem. Anytime.
Something I can show my baby girl.
Yeah.
In like 10 years.
Oh, you having a girl? Dang.
Yeah.
10 years, she'll understand.
Yeah, she'll understand.
Baby Levitre wasn't ready to make her debut. But with Katie's due date and Andy's first career playoff game both fast approaching, they had to tough out the next few weeks.
The last 4 weeks were a constant waiting game of like, is she gonna wait until this game's over? Is she gonna wait until this game's over?
Having an unknown of when your child's gonna be born and possibly being out of town was a big factor in kind of making you nervous in terms of like, you know, I want to be there for the birth and I don't know if I'm going to be there for it.
I tried to be as calm, cool, as collected as I could, knowing that my daughter could come any day, and especially because the playoff game fell 3 days after her due date.
We're live for the NFL divisional playoff round, and today the Falcons and Seahawks meet.
It was the morning of the game, and I said, you know, I'm feeling a little bit nauseous, and I don't think it's anything. I'm not gonna overreact. Let's just go to the game and see how I feel. So on the way to the game, I started to realize that those pains were coming and going. And I remember it clearly. We were looking at the Georgia Dome, sitting at the last light in traffic, and my mom looks at me and says, your contractions are coming every 7 minutes. And I was like, okay, I'm in labor.
Go ahead, man. Have a good one, baby.
But instead of heading to the hospital, Katie took her seat in a packed Georgia Dome to watch the Falcons take on the Seahawks.
We got into the stadium, and I sat down next to Bruce Matthews, and he asked me how I was doing, and I was like, well, I'm in labor. And he was like, okay. He's like, please don't deliver this baby next to me.
Scat Dragon 3 or 300?
Andy gave me the phone number of someone on the sidelines to text if something was going on. So right when I got there, I sent him a text message saying, I'm up in the stands, I am definitely in labor, but don't say anything to Andy for now. I'm gonna let you know if it gets more critical and I think we need to say something. So yeah, I was in labor at the game and I thought I was okay. I could talk, I could stand up and cheer, I was doing great, the team was doing great.
And Devontae Freeman rambles to the 2.
Well, this offensive line has taken control of the football game.
I really did think I could hold her off for a little while longer, but right around halftime, I felt like I couldn't talk through those contractions anymore. And by the end of the game, I wasn't sure I was gonna make it any longer.
Atlanta goes on to the NFC title game next Sunday.
I didn't know anything until the player director came up to me and kind of mentioned, oh, hey, by the way, you should probably go out in the family room. There's your wife's waiting for you. She's in labor.
just hours after the game, Lily Jean Levitre entered the world.
I mean, it really just couldn't have timed up more perfect for us to have it happen the way it did.
That's easy for him to say. I was in labor at a game.
For a lot of players, there's certainly, babies that are born on game day, but I can't remember one quite as unique as this.
Staying through a football game in labor, everybody I've talked to that's given birth is in awe of that. I knew she was tough, but this is a whole different kind of toughness, I would imagine that it's unlike anything in football.
I actually think it was better that I was at the game. I had to put my game face on too.
3 weeks after one of the greatest days of his personal life, Andy experienced one of his toughest as a professional.
A crushing defeat for Atlanta.
I was really disappointed in the way the game had turned out, and then I saw them, and it kind of just got me to turn my mind off of football.
Hey, went to the Super Bowl.
I was really.
I know, but you went to the Super Bowl. That's what you wanted your whole life.
I wanted to win the Super Bowl.
I know, but you're here, so just be happy. You did so good and you got here. Being able to see him on that field, giving his daughter a kiss, was really special for me. It's a memory that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. I know he really wanted to win the Super Bowl, but to watch him hold this little baby in his arms, it's like his own little trophy.
Who do you now consider the toughest person in the Levitre family?
We all know the answer to that.
I mean, I'm pretty tough.
I think you could take the cake for that one.
Maybe.
You got a football that says you are, so I don't have one of those.
Can you read it?
Yeah, that was the day you were born. I would love for her to look back at this and just think that not only was her dad out there doing his job, but that her mom was just as tough. I would like to say she would say that her mom's a badass, but I don't think we can say that on TV.